Hi guys, Donovan Gow here. It's exactly 6 weeks to the day after I had ACL reconstruction surgery, and I just wanted to share with you what worked for me and lessons learned along the way. I've had a really speedy recovery. As you can see, I've got full extension in this leg, almost full flexion, almost as good as the other leg, with just a little bit of pain there. And I've had some atrophy here, obviously, but the strength is coming back pretty well. I can do nearly a full squat and hold that well, and the balance is good. When I went to my PT session last week, the physical therapist said that's one of the best recoveries he's seen. So I thought I would share with you what I've learned along the way. First thing, I've got another video about the day of surgery, so check that out. But that first week after surgery, key things I learned. One, I'd never taken the heavy-duty painkillers before, like oxycodone and OxyContin. And I think they were great for the first couple days because you're certainly going to have some pain. And I'd say stay in front of that or you're going to be really miserable. But as soon as possible, I tried to wean myself off of those. They cause a lot of constipation, which will affect what you're eating. And if you're not eating well, you're not going to recover well. Also, they just knock you out unless you're really already tolerant to them, which I wasn't. They make you want to sleep all day, which is the worst thing you can do. You're not going to want to move. You're not going to want to get out of bed, and that's what you need to do to get better. As a nurse, I don't work in surgery or in orthopedics or anything like that, but I do work in acute care settings. And getting up and moving afterwards in most situations is really important to recovery. So I tried to wean myself off those as quickly as I could. I switched to ibuprofen for a little while, and even that upsets my stomach, so I tried to get off that pretty quickly as well. And really what I found by far the best pain control was icing. I've used ice for sports injuries. I never thought of it in such a major way for post-op healing, but they will give you something like a polar cooler, which looks like a little igloo cooler with a pump. So it's basically pumping ice water onto a pad that you keep around your knee. If you don't get something like that, you definitely want to request one. They are great, much better than trying to ice with ice bags. You can keep them running constantly and just make sure you've got plenty of ice. But keeping that on as much as is allowed, check with your doctor on that. But I kept mine running the first few days almost constantly. And I wish I'd kept it on more. When I stopped doing it and tried to get up, move around, stand up a lot, it caused a lot of problems, a lot of swelling, a lot of pain. So that worked great. Elevating also and compression worked well too, keeping it wrapped and keeping it up. In those first few days, even just sitting up for any length of time, standing for any length of time really caused a lot of pain and swelling. And what I found is that the swelling, controlling the swelling really should be your first priority. Because if the swelling is not controlled, you're going to have no mobility and you're going to have lots of pain. So keeping that swelling down at first is key. Then I started doing some basic strengthening exercises real early on, static contractions. So just your leg might be in a brace, just flexing it. You can still lift it, and even that will be difficult. And then if you're allowed out of the brace to do passive, where you take or have someone do it with you, just bending that joint a little bit, get it moving. Sometimes the doctor will order a CPM, a continuous passive motion machine for you. I didn't use that, I did it myself, but I started really soon. I decided I'm going to get this joint moving early, and that's why I've got almost full range of motion back. And I've had it back now for a couple of weeks, really. So, get that moving as soon as you can. Don't make it hurt. Shouldn't be hurting, but get it moving. And it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but I thought that was key. And then as soon as I could, I got up and started moving around. And like I said, you want to find a balance between creating more swelling and problems and not moving enough. But you definitely don't want to sit on your butt for several weeks. You'll decondition. The joint will feel horrible, you'll feel horrible, your digestion will be bad, all that stuff. So get moving. And then I really focused on nutrition as well, eating well. Just because you're around the house and not moving a whole lot doesn't mean you shouldn't be eating well. I try to eat healthy normally, but I increased my protein a bit, and there's a lot of tissue repair going on there. And and also vitamin C in particular to help with some of that tissue repair. And that really seemed to help quite a bit. So those are a few things that worked for me. A couple things that I would definitely avoid. One is taking it too fast. If you're up too much and it really starts to ache, you're sitting up, lie down, get that foot elevated, get it iced. I wish I'd done more of that. And then secondly, anything that involves the hamstring. If you had a hamstring graft at all, be really cautious with that. Anything that involves kind of curling the leg at all, using the hamstring muscle, it'll be incredibly weak, and it'll pull, and it'll just throb down the back in here. And so that I had more pain probably from those hamstring attachments where they harvested that than from the actual knee itself. So take it real easy on hamstring types of things, and that includes any kind of bending over, picking things up types of exercises, because you use your hamstrings in that motion quite a bit as well. So I hope this helps, and please check out my Facebook page. I put a lot of my health and wellness tips on there regularly, and thanks for watching.